Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode. I believe we're on number 3 of Birds on Tap. I'm Rob. We got Sig, Al, Mike, and Steve here with us, and we're going to get into the Eagles schedule. The NFL schedule was just released right at 8 o'clock, which before we start talking about when we play and who we play and where we play, can I just say that this is the worst kept fucking secret in all of sports? Like, there were more leaks, in this scheduling. Like, if they were being paid to keep secrets, they'd all be broke. So, we wanted to do this after the schedules came out, and sadly, it's already been posted all over fucking social media. But let's get into it. Like, the Birds, like, we all kind of talked right before we started, and we were talking about what's favorable, what's less favorable. So let's get into it, guys. Week 1, we're at home against the Commanders, which is still weird for me to say. Then after that, we go week 2. We go to Tennessee and then to Chicago. We'll get into the time slots in a second. Then we play at home against the Rams, and then we go to London to play Jacksonville. Then we got Carolina and then the Cowboys at home. We go to Washington, and then we have the Giants at home, and we're on a bye. And then we got the Steelers at home. Week 12, we go to Dallas. Week 13, we're home with Indy. Week 14, we're at Arizona. 15 and 16 are home games against Seattle and Houston. 17 and 18 are road games, San Fran and the Giants. So let's get into it. What do you guys want to start with? Anybody jump in?
What I would say is, to me, when you look at a schedule, and as a gambler, I would say that I always look at we always look at the teams that are not going to be as good as we think they are relative to last year, and those that are going to improve. So, I like that we get Tennessee early. They'll probably be a team that improves throughout the year. I would liken them to New Orleans last year. New Orleans was terrible early, but late they were trouble. And then better teams, if you look at it, I wish we were getting Chicago later, because I think they'll step back a little. But then you got other teams like the Tex, you look later, Texans on paper look good, but I don't think they're going to be that great. I like getting them later. I like getting the Niners later. I think they're not a very good team. I just wish we weren't playing Dallas as early. And what's also interesting is that most teams get a bye after London, and we're not.
Yeah.
But the bye is later, and most people think that a later bye is better. The other team that's not going to be good, it would be Phoenix, but I don't think they're going to be good all year. So them being later is not necessarily, what I would say a negative. I like that we get the Rams at 1. I wish it was later in the season, but they're coming to play us after playing Denver on Sunday at 4:25, so that lays up well. For the most part, when you look at who they play and who that team plays the week before, it's not a bad schedule. The
Right.
Christmas Eve game, I think the Texans will be done by then. We do play the Saturday before. I wish we were playing Seattle at 1 versus 5 o'clock. But if you look at it from a competitive perspective, it didn't break bad. We got lucky last year. Washington didn't have Jaden Daniels for those late games, but he hasn't played. I don't think he played the last 6 games last year, so I love opening against them. He'll probably be rusty. And they've lost so many players. They're pure rebuild as far as I'm concerned. So getting Washington out of the way early is great. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they never play more than 2 games on the road, I think, except the end, and that road game is the Giants, which is not. I mean, it's a ride, up the turnpike. So it competitively, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I like getting the Rams early, because the Rams are a team that seems to get better as the season goes, a lot of times. So I do like getting them early. That's just me.
I would also say with the Rams, we had the Rams early last year at 1 o'clock, and some good things happened after a bad first half. So, I mean, you got to look at it that way. One of the things that I'm not really that thrilled about is you're having like a back-to-back short week with in December with week 15 and 16.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going to be Sunday to Saturday and then Saturday to Thursday with the Christmas Eve game. The other thing that I'm not really a fan of is, I know Mike just alluded to it with week 18 being on the road, but week 17 on the road as well. I always like to look at your travel in December right before the playoffs. Going out west, January 3rd, that's going to be difficult. The other thing is you have to remember this. If you make the playoffs and you do not win the division, you have your last 2 games are road, which means if you make the playoffs and you don't win the division, that's going to be a 3rd road game in a row. And if you're a wild card team, you're probably going to be going on the road throughout the rest of the playoffs. So like the way how that schedule comes out in January, you really do need to win the division so that you're not on the road for at least 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row.
Well, Steve, what I would say to you about that, number one, the Texans, they're actually on the road that Sunday, so they only have 4 days. We got an extra day, and we're at home. So yeah, we're going short, but we got an extra day and no travel. And they're going to Jacksonville. Then they got to go home. Then they got to come to us on Christmas Eve. And that Niners game, that's where the flex happens. If the Niners
because that's right now it's an 8:20.
If the Niners are bad, and I think they will be, that game won't be at 8:00. That's going to end up being a 4:00 game, and they're going to get out of Dodge. So I hear you, but the 3rd road game is the Giants. I mean, I can live with that. Giants will probably have quit by then.
What do you got, Al?
No, I love in the middle of the schedule where we have 3 division opponents in a row. We have Dallas, week 7, 8. We have Washington, and then we have New York. That right there, you're going to see a lot of things unfold with our division right there. So I think week 7, 8, 9, all division games. That's going to be an incredible stretch. I mean, last year we opened, I'm not sure if you remember, we opened with Dallas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't play Dallas for the first time until week 7. So, we have 7 and 12, we play them. Opening up with Washington, I'm not scared of them. But they're not going to be very good.
I don't think the NFL is scared because they got us playing them twice in the first 8 weeks. I think they're just getting them out of the way. It's funny that they're saving because last year they expected Washington to be good, so they saved them for week 18 or and then this year the Giants are back in that slot.
Yeah.
So I think they expect.
I think Tennessee's going to be better this year. I think they're going to take a big step forward. Might be a little tougher than expected. Chicago, like Mike said, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. They're going to take a step back. LA is going to be LA. I think. I mean, they're a good team. That's going to be probably our big test, week 4. So traveling.
Yeah, and if you guys
they'll be coming to us. So
yeah. If you look at what Vegas thinks, they like the Packers and the Lions more than the Bears. And to me, I think Dallas is the biggest competitor for us in the division. I think they got some holes, but they do have some skilled players. And you kind of catch a break. I mean, Dallas's extra game is the Ravens, and they're playing it in Mexico. Ours is the Steelers. Steelers aren't going to be good. They're not going to be good.
No, that's a complete shit show up there.
we get Seattle and the Rams here.
Yeah.
Dallas goes to Seattle and goes to the Rams, and we catch the road games of Arizona and the 49ers, which I think will be the 2 worst teams in the division. And then we get, our draw in the AFC is the South, and that's probably either it's the AFC South or the NFC South. They're the 2 worst divisions in the league. I don't think the Colts are going to be that good. The Texans, I mean, Stroud has taken steps back every year. Like, I'm surprised that's who we're playing on Christmas Eve. I think by the time we get to that game, the Texans are going to be awful, and it's going to be a smash. But we'll see. But it lays out well in terms of who we get when. What's interesting is our last 6 games, we only have 1 division game. It's the last one. That's usually not what you see with the NFL.
Yeah.
We tend to have a more front-loaded division schedule this year versus years past, but it is what it is.
All right. This Drunk Phil's fans is being a smart ass. Well, I mean, not being a smart ass, but he's just basically saying that Seattle's going to win by 40 over Dallas to help us out. Not that Drunk
I
Phil's
don't
fans
know about that.
is a Seahawks fan or anything.
I thought we weren't trolling on different sites. Is that still
It's all,
happening?
it's all fun. It's all fun and
What-
games, I guess.
What's the score of the Phillies game tonight? Anybody know?
Nothing right now.
All right.
Well, I
Did it
didn't
start?
know, and apparently last night I got distracted, so I'm not allowed to watch the Phillies game.
It's
What do you
pretty-
got, Sig?
So, yeah, Sig, what do you got on this schedule? So, like, what stands out there? What do you like? What do you not? Like?
Yeah, I don't have anything much to add other outside of what everybody else said. Seems like the last few years, the first 4 games of the schedule, and it's probably true for everybody. Everybody's kind of feeling their way a little bit, but the Eagles usually around 500, something like that after the first 4 games. Maybe a game over. So you just never know what you're going to get in the beginning. So I don't know if a division team like the Commanders, and I still can't get used to saying that.
Just call them Washington. Washington.
Well, I want to say Commodores, and I don't know why. But
Yeah, because at Interstate, I always post. I call them the Commodores because
Yeah.
that guy
Yeah.
that sings Eagles songs always
Yeah.
calls them the Commodores. So
so
it's the Commodores.
yeah, so I mean, you never know what you're going to get with them. They look like they're going to be pretty bad, but it's a division game. Who the hell knows? Eagles tend to play down. You don't know what they're going to be like coming out of the preseason. Titans, I don't know.
I kind of like
The other thing that I'm kind of, I guess, a little concerned about. I don't mind. I like the later buy because it gives guys a little bit extra time.
Great. It's better
but
later. Yeah.
after that London game, I would like to have seen the bye or maybe kind of an extended week. A day or so, maybe a Monday. Maybe it isn't a Monday night game after that.
No, coming out
No,
now.
it's
It's
not.
just a Sunday game,
Yeah,
but it's
No,
not
Sunday one.
TBD, so it could be. a
yeah.
Sunday
I would
night game.
like to have seen that extra day in there at least, something like
Yeah.
that. The bye would have been nice, but hey, it is what it is. I don't. Again, like all you guys, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, well, Sig,
Yep.
I understand what you're saying because last year when you opened up in Brazil, you opened up on a Friday night and then you didn't play again until Monday night. So, like, that was good in the fact that, like you're saying, you did get like the extra day or two, which was super helpful. Where in this situation, I mean, when I saw these leaks and I saw that you didn't have the bye week 6, I was shocked. I was a little upset, but also with the same sense, I am a fan of having the later bye. So it's like, I'm toying with myself in the fact that do I really want it after?
Do that in privacy.
Oh, that may be.
Do that when no.
But I think it's one of those things. At least it's like Carolina. I understand they won their division with a losing record,
They
and
say
it is in Philadelphia. Exactly, they stink. So I feel like
You're not a Bryce Young believer.
They
no. The
I'm
over
not.
the over under on them is 6.5, and it's a trap.
Exactly.
And
So, like,
Vegas
they-
is trying to get people to bet the over. They're not going to be good.
Yeah,
They're
so
not
they
gonna be
did
good.
throw us a
Damn.
bone with having like an easy
Yeah.
game at home after that, and then you are home again Monday night after that against Dallas. So I mean, I guess that's where you get your extra day, if you will. But yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying with the extra days there, Sig.
Yeah, and I'd also say with London, we catch a break. Jacksonville plays 2 games there.
Yeah,
We got
So they
it for the
stay,
first game.
and we got them the first game, so they won't have that "we've been there" advantage. And that game's at 9:30. So if the Eagles leave right after, they're back home that night, and having to me flying 5 hours from LA and losing the time versus coming back 7 hours from London and gaining the time.
Yeah.
I don't think that is that big of a deal. It's also, I don't know if it'll be an Eagles takeover game, but it will definitely not be a Jacksonville crowd.
I have a feeling.
So
that
that's not
is.
a road game. That's a bonus for the
I-
Eagles. That's not a road game.
I have a
Yeah.
feeling that's going to be a takeover game. But the Phillies fans, they
Yeah.
traveled well a couple
Yeah.
of years ago when they played the Mets over there. The Eagles have played, when they played in Brazil, it was basically an Eagles home game.
The last
Eagles
London
fans are
game I
fucking
was
nuts.
at, it was easily 60% Eagles fans, and the other 40% were everybody else, not just
Yeah, just like
Jags.
general fans
about
showing up in like
25%
Browns
Jags.
jerseys and stuff,
Well,
right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like that anymore because it was only those were the only international games. The couple
Yeah, the
London
Jags
games.
don't have any
But-
fans, so it's
No.
not gonna.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
why
and-
they're losing 2 home games to play over there,
Right.
man.
right.
Yeah.
So
And that's funny
I-
you say that too, Mike, because with Jacksonville, I mean, like, I agree that's going to be a takeover over in London, but even in the U.S., whether they would be, I know that next year they're going to be playing in Orlando because of the
Yeah.
stadium renovations.
Yeah.
Like, whether they're in Orlando or Jacksonville, if the Eagles were playing, they're taking that over. It doesn't matter. And you can take it
Yeah.
over the pond. I didn't think about what you had said about with the time difference and gaining rather than losing, with coming from like California and losing the 3 hours rather than gaining coming from London with the 5. So I do think that I see what you're saying, how that can be an advantage. And like you said, they lined us up with Carolina.
Yeah, like if
fuck
that
with
game
them.
ends like around 12:30, 1 o'clock, they'll probably be on a flight by 4. And it'll take 7 hours to get back. It'll feel like 11 o'clock to them, but it's really going to be like 7 o'clock Sunday night. And so then at that point, I mean, it's not great, but it's not worse than coming back from LA. It's the same. Might even be
Yeah.
better. So,
Yeah.
and the NFL at first was giving every team that went to London a bye when they came back, but then they stopped doing it for East Coast teams. And the stats don't show that there's much of an impact.
Yeah.
So
Al, what did you think about a road game that maybe be a takeover or two?
the biggest game, it's going to be Nashville, because you always have to analyze location, the time of year, and the fan base. Like, you're not going to take Chicago over. Their fans show up, right? You're not going to take Green Bay completely over. But Nashville, September 20th, that's going to be, that stadium will be half Eagles fans, no doubt. And then maybe Arizona in December, because then the weather's nice.
People want to get out of Philly.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's in,
yeah.
it's not too close to Christmas. Like, I could see people going to Arizona
that's-
too. Their
that's
season
it.
will be over by then. You'll be able to get tickets cheap. So I go Nashville first because it's just such a party city, and then it'll be Arizona number 2.
Yeah,
Ignoring
Sid was talking
ignoring
about going to
London.
Nashville.
Yeah,
Sid wants to
London's
go to
gonna
Nashville this year.
yeah, London's gonna price some people out, but Nashville and Arizona will be affordable. Those are the two. Like, you'll see tons of Eagles fans at those games, and then Dallas, of course.
You'll also see a ton of Eagles games at the Washington as well. At
Oh yeah,
Washington,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Eagles
that's like
fans will
every year,
travel
right?
there.
Like, there's like we
That's a
take
big
over
one.
Washington, and there's tons of
Yeah.
Eagles fans usually at Dallas too. But that's like every year, right? So like the last couple years, I've always eyed up Tampa, but I'm like, I don't want to go to Tampa in September. I want to go in November, right?
Yeah,
And the Eagles have played there when it's like 99 degrees.
And they
So-
always do that to us too. They
Yeah.
always send us there when it's hot as shit, and then they always send us to Green Bay when it's cold. I was just we got Tennessee. We may go on the road. Tennessee and Chicago on paper, those are 2 tough games. Tennessee's probably not going to be good, but that's a good city to play in September. And then to go to Chicago in September is a fucking gift.
Yes.
That is a gift that we don't have to go there
Yeah.
in fucking December or January when it's just completely frigid.
Well, we went Black Friday last year, and it was freezing cold then. Like, it was
Yeah.
in the 30s then, and again, it was just that was
Yeah,
still
so-
the 4th week of November.
Yeah, and then it's Arizona, San Fran, and New York. So San Fran's going to be fine. It's not going to be ice cold there in January, and New York
Yeah.
is just going to be like home.
Yeah, San Fran, I looked at, but it's January 3rd. It's right after New Year's. It's right after the holidays. People spent their money. I just don't know if
Could be a trap.
you'll see as many people go to that one.
Yeah.
But I just think also because any games that can be flexed makes you nervous. But Tennessee will not get flexed.
Nope,
And
not at all.
Arizona
It's too early.
Arizona will not get flexed, right? They're not moving the Eagles Arizona game to Sunday night or Monday night. So those games are going to hold. So those are the 2 beyond London. But London's again a different animal. But in the U.S., it'll be Tennessee 1 because the weather will be phenomenal. It's a party city. It's easy to get to. And then I'd say Arizona number 2. That might be my vote. And maybe I'll go to one of
Yeah,
them.
no doubt. Tennessee's
So
gonna be one big party.
Yeah.
Like Sig or Steve, do you guys plan on going to any road games? Because at right now, like I'm not. I don't even go to home games at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking to go to Nashville. I have plans. I've been planning that one for a little bit. And again, I was just looking at the schedule too. With a lot of our road games, I think we only have 2 road games with Washington and the Giants that are actually on Eastern Standard Time. Everybody else is either Central or you're in London or Pacific Time. So I just noticed that aspect right now. That wasn't your question, but I'm planning on going to Nashville.
I was saying Sig or Steve. Like Sig, where are you going?
Yeah,
If
we
you're
were all
going.
in for Nashville, but like I said, I just can't do it in September. I've been there before. I was already like couldn't wait for the hockey schedule to come out because Bridgestone Arena is right off of right up the street there. I mean, everything's walking distance on that main drag. It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. So, but yeah, I can't do that. I wanted to do Chicago too, but they're both in September, so I can't do that. We've been to London a couple of times already for the Phillies and the Eagles, so I don't know if we want to go to London again. We might piggyback it off some other larger European trip, but we weren't ready to do that this year to begin with. So I don't see us going to any. I got the Monday night game with the Cowboys, so I might just be happy with that. And
Yeah, the Eagles don't go to Florida at all this year either.
No.
Drunk Phil's fans, Chris asked us if what's the best game to drink or party for on the schedule? Is it the London game, Seahawks Saturday? Which again, I don't think Chris can make a comment without slipping in the Seahawks. We know they're champions. We get it.
I would say, in all honesty, I think Christmas Eve would be hilarious. It's an 8:20 game. Just get down there and just start boozing all day. You'll see Santa, that's for sure.
So, I mean, honestly, Nashville, you're not going to stop drinking from the moment you get there to the moment you leave.
Yep.
I
And
think
I'm gonna
Nashville's
be-
the closest thing to
How many of you
to a
guys
New
have
Orleans
been,
game.
How many of you guys have you been to have been to London? How many of you have been to London?
I think just 6.
I mean, that is a major drinking city. Like,
Oh, yes. And
like that is like,
So-
to me, the Seahawks game is 5 days before Christmas, so you might pace yourself. That London game, if you're in London, and if you're here in Philly, breakfast with the birds, start drinking at 7 a.m. Like that's the drinking game. London's the drinking game.
Yeah,
And that's
the other
the
thing.
Seattle game.
Are you talking
The
about
Seattle
Christmas
game
Eve?
is going to be.
No,
game's
Seattle
gonna be-
game is the Saturday before. So they're
Mhm.
going to play Seattle so that's the thing. That Thursday game against the Texans, we get an extra day and we're home. That's they screwed the Texans. The Texans are playing in Jacksonville on Sunday, the 20th. We're playing Seattle
We
at
get that
home
extra
on the
day
19th.
19th. Yeah.
Texans got to go back home to Houston and then they got to come to us on Thursday.
I
That's
wonder if they go right up.
And it's
And maybe
Christmas.
get, like,
And
a
it's
display.
Christmas
and it's
Eve.
Christmas Eve. They're going to get
Yeah,
out of there.
it'll
Like
be
their
all
season's
sad.
going to be over. That game, I predict, will be a layup. That's going to be a smash. The Texans will be done by then. They're going to
That's
quit.
going to be a huge drink. That's going to be a huge drinking game, no doubt.
Oh, that will
Washington.
definitely be. Yeah.
monster
Yeah.
monster tailgate. You're off Sunday. 5 o'clock.
Yeah, Chris, I
start,
guess the question
all
would be
day
not the Seahawks or
tailgating,
London game,
huge game.
but maybe the Christmas Eve game. You know,
That's
the
what I said. That was like
the drunk uncle's going to go nuts on that Christmas.
Oh,
Eve
you
game.
don't
Yeah, they will.
think that the Pittsburgh 425 game here at home is
Yeah,
going to
all
be
425 games are great.
Yeah.
All 425 games are great drinking games. That's why they stopped giving them to us.
Yeah, Al, what do you?
They
what,
know the
as
parking
a-
lot's
as
going to
like
be.
As like a season ticket holder, Al, what one are you looking forward to the most? I'm just assuming you're not selling, you're going to all the games. What game are you looking forward to the most as like a season ticket holder?
You always look forward to the Dallas games, obviously. I mean, season opener, Dallas. Christmas Eve that's tough. I'm not happy with those type of games. So they're the games you cannot, try to get out of it with the family thing. It's pretty tough, That's the stuff that put you in divorce court.
That's what, dude.
If you
Yeah,
go to that
you
game.
read my mind, man. I was thinking that earlier. I was saying there's going to be a lot of divorce papers getting drawn.
I'll
up
take
around
your
Christmas
tickets.
this year.
My wife wants to go, so
Yeah,
give
I'm
me
a
your
contrarian.
tickets.
I'm going to be a contrarian on that. Like, I have season tickets, and the Christmas Eve game, I was so pumped. I mean, there's never been a Christmas Eve game at 8:00. Like, I remember 15 years ago when the Eagles played on Thanksgiving against the Cardinals. It was like a Thanksgiving night game, and it was like, oh my God, and it was the best, right? You had dinner early, and then you went to the stadium. Like, Christmas Eve, let's go.
I went to
Chris
the.
wants us
I
to
can't
get
wait.
into-
And the stadium will be packed, and there'll be like
It will
half
be.
the
It'll
people
be-
will probably be dressed as Santa.
Yeah, yep, and they'll all be acting nuts.
Yeah.
That will be a special crowd. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. This whole schedule, like you look at some of the home games, and we have Carolina coming here, we have LA coming here. So like all Seahawks coming here is exciting, I guess, because
Yeah.
they're the champs and it's Seattle. But I think that Houston game is probably like the most exciting just because it's Christmas Eve.
I had gone to the Christmas game in 2018 or 2017 where we played the Raiders.
Yeah,
and it was
Christmas
8:00 at night, and it was
Yeah.
so cold.
It
And
was freezing.
It was so bad,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
at the point. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want overtime. I'm like, I'm fine with even just taking a damn loss here. They did win, obviously, with the pick six at the end, and you won the NFC. You're on the number one seed that night, and walking out, it was like the most saddest number one seed clenching ever because Nick Foles looked horrible in that game. The offense looked horrible, and we're like, yay, we're the number one seed, and it's Christmas and it's freezing.
Yeah,
And I mean, obviously,
I remember that game.
but it was just like one of those things where it was like, oh, that hurts. And I
It was
went
cold.
to the,
I remember that
yeah.
game.
yeah, and then
It was cold. It was cold. But isn't it because Christmas night is sad because it's over? Christmas Eve's different, man,
It's
because
true.
you got what's
There's
coming
hope.
the next day. You
Yeah.
rack up a win on Christmas Eve, midnight
Christmas
and
Day
Christmas
is
Eve's
good.
gonna feel great. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So
On,
Chris threw out here. He said in terms of betting in the preseason, do you guys look at win total, specific games already, futures? So let's get into a little bit of the gambling side. I have pulled up on FanDuel some of the win totals. So like the over under for, let's say, Arizona, because they're first alphabetically, they have them at 4.5.
New coach and everything.
Under.
Yeah.
I don't see them. I
They're
don't.
tanking.
I see 4. I
Yeah.
see 4. I don't see 5. So if it's 4.5, I would go under. Honestly, I know it's 17 games, but still.
Yeah, and when we think about over and unders, what I always say is the public is slow to think that a bad team is good or better and a good team is getting bad, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to kind of leverage that. And Arizona, by basically all the moves they made or didn't make, is clearly tanking to try and get a quarterback next year.
Right.
So
That's a bad team
they're-
that got worse.
They're in 100%. They're in a killer division. They got the Super Bowl champs and the runners up in the NFC in their division, and they got to play the NFC East, which is better. They're an under. So they'll win 2 games.
Now the other low on here is Miami at 4.5.
I'd take the under. I
I'll take
really
the
don't think.
under again.
I,
Yeah.
I don't think Miami with what they've done. You got a brand new coach there too, and I mean, for crying out loud, you got rid of your franchise quarterback. And you have Willis, Green Bay's backup last year. I don't know. I just don't see it the way how they got rid of players this offseason. In that situation, I would go under again. I mean, again, somebody's got to win these games and somebody's got to lose these games, and somebody's going to win 14 games and somebody's going to win 3. That's just how it is.
Yeah, the only scary part about Miami is they get to play the Jets twice. Arizona doesn't get that.
Well, that
So
that,
that's
that brought
that's
me
that's
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 a
the
fair
tricky
point.
part.
that brought me to
That's
the
the
Jets.
tricky part. Like Arizona will probably win 2. Miami will probably win 4, but 5's not like Arizona has got their schedule's brutal.
Right, they have no
And-
chance to win 5.
Right.
The Jets they have at 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, because they had a good draft, but they seem to be tanking too. I just they're both bad teams. Miami and the Jets are bad,
Yeah,
but they do also play each other, so that's where it gets tricky.
right, because they can either split or one team could easily
Yeah.
sweep the other, and it's a toss up every year.
Yeah.
Buffalo they got at 10.5, and then New England they got at 9.5. Now I'm banging the under on New England too, because
I'm with you 100%. 100%.
New England has this way. Now they may get good and compete again in another year or two, but they have this way, especially when they rise like this, they have a tendency to fall before coming back up. Kind of what they did before when they Brady got hurt and they had to go to what was it, Matt Castle,
Matt
and that
Castle.
was probably 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm
He
not
got
really
himself
one
a
to
deal after that too. That 1 year, he got himself a deal in KC, and
in
that,
Kansas City.
that was horrible. They lost so much freaking money on that.
Which, to be
Sorry,
honest,
Rob, go ahead.
everybody got deals in Kansas City. If you remember, Elvis Gerbach got a fucking deal in
Mhm.
Kansas City too. Any sub who came in and won a couple games for a franchise that was successful, like they ended up going to Kansas City and getting a big fucking contract.
Shore
So
bomb.
they got
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland,
Shore bomb. 2-0 in the 8th.
Cleveland
Rob,
All right.
Cleveland at 6.5. They got the Raiders at 5.5. And they got Tennessee at 6.5. So these are the low win the over unders.
I don't
know-
have a great feel about the Raiders. The Browns, they had a great draft. They had a great draft last year. Deshaun Watson is probably going to be their starter.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious to me.
I think the Steelers are not very good. I'd probably look at the Browns on the over, and I'd probably look at the Titans on the over too, because that's just not a strong division. Robert Saleh, he might not be a great head coach, but their defense will show up.
Yeah.
And if you can play good defense, again, I don't think any of those teams are making the playoffs, but I'd go over Browns, over Titans, and then under on what was the Raiders. I just don't know enough about the Raiders and they're in a tough division. Broncos are good, Chargers are good, the Chiefs will be good.
Yes, and that's the Raiders. It'll be a while, and it's one of those other teams is going to have to get old. It'll probably end up being the Chargers eventually, plummeting once Herbert goes, because he's not going to stay there forever.
I think that when you look at the over unders, everybody always says like, well, did they improve or not improve? But you got to look at what division are they in?
Yeah.
Because they're going to play those teams twice. And then who are they paired up with in the AFC and the NFC, right? And so, they got to play the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos twice. They're all good teams. They have a rookie quarterback. They're just probably not going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it comes down to, division. That's why Brady and them won the division all those years, because the other teams didn't have a quarterback. They went 5-1 or 6-0. When you have 6 games, that's literally more than a third of your season against crappy teams. Or in this case, if you have Arizona going up against the Seattles and San Francisco, like that, and the Rams, like that's difficult. Instead of being like 5-1, you're 1-5 or 0-6.
Mhm.
Like that is a huge chunk of your season. So division play does have an awful lot to do with it. You're 100% right on that.
Yeah, look at the NFC
everything
South.
The
The NFC South last year was what did Carolina win the division at? Was it
7-9? Like,
yeah,
and they're not. Yeah, like that's a crapshoot. Like, who knows?
That's what
Who
I'm
knows?
saying. Like
It's a
terrible.
terrible division. Terrible division. NFC South.
Yeah, so they got the Birds at 10.5.
I'd go over on that.
Yeah, they would have to go 11-6. 100%, I would take them on the over.
Sig, Al, what do you guys say? Over, under 10.5?
You were breaking up.
Yeah,
couldn't hear you,
I have
so-
them over. I'm going to say over. I don't know. I like we said earlier, it seems like it's a fairly favorable schedule for them. You just never know what these teams are going to be like coming out of the preseason, but yeah, I would bet the over.
So,
Go ahead, Al.
Al, can you hear me?
Still breaking up a little bit. I couldn't hear you. What team are we talking about now?
All right,
Eagles.
The Birds, 10.5. Check your phone real quick. Yeah,
10.5
10.5.
over.
Yeah. Al knows.
Definitely over. I see them winning.
Definitely over. Definitely over.
12 definitely over.
Yeah.
I say 12 wins. Easy 12 wins, maybe 13.
I could do.
I
12.
agree. I agree.
I think 11
I mean,
is an absolute shoe-in. I think so. The over.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a couple of these games that look like they could be toss-ups right now, they could end up going 13-4. You know, because they're like this is a good team that they didn't get any worse in the offseason. And regardless of what they do with fucking AJ, I still think that with the new offense and with the addition of Lemon and with the addition of the tight end, I think their offense is going to look good. And everybody every year, it's the same shit with Jalen about he's got a new offensive coordinator. He's got a new offense that he has to learn. And year after year, the guy does what he has to do. Like, I mean, he doesn't have great years every year, but they win
Statistical
games.
wise, but wins, yes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And we're talking about Hurts, right?
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. So I went back this morning. I rewatched from about 4 or 5 years ago. They had Detroit as their opening game, and I rewatched the
Right? That was the
Yeah.
shootout.
They won 38-35, and it was the year after Hurts. You know, it was his first. It was I think it was Sirianni's second year, and you know, Hurts threw over the middle constantly to
Yeah.
Brown,
Yes, he did.
constantly in that game. I don't think like
It was
we
slant
all
after slant
we
after-
all
yeah.
kind of figure out like the whole. He doesn't want to throw over the middle. We all figure out things that we're good at, and we gravitate towards them. But he'll do what you want. The guy does win. Period. That's it. And in that game, he threw over the middle all the time, and most of the time it was to Brown. I don't know what happened or didn't happen, but the guy can throw over the middle and will throw over the middle. So I am not worried about it at all with him
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I think it had a lot more to do with the coordinators and the game planning than him.
Yeah. And AJ
So, I
Brown, he
agree.
got his title. He got his title.
Yeah,
He is more interested in stats at this point. He can go.
I agree.
We'll keep winning titles then. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
That's-
I think we would all sign up for that.
That's the big date circled on the Eagles calendar right now.
I
June
think the
1st.
offense is going to improve.
June 1st. What happens to Brown?
He's going to get traded like
Well-
that day or the next
Well,
day.
that's what I
for us.
mean. How fast is it going to happen? Is it already?
Get him
done?
out of
Is
here.
it a
Get him.
handshake?
Get him out. Get him
Wow.
out.
12:01.
I'm,
That would
I'm,
be
I'm-
hilarious if they fucking pulled the trigger at 12:01, and we're
I
just
mean-
like, all right, we're having a fucking press conference at midnight, guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's it's not unlike Howie to have this already done, and I mean everybody knows it, so why not? It's probably
Eh.
it was probably done after the draft.
So
At this point-
who do you guys think though are the Eagles' biggest threat in the NFC? I got a dark horse for you. I think the Lions are going to show back up this year. They got a 4th place schedule. They are still a really good team.
I'm not a
And-
Dan Campbell fan though. That's so I have a hard time choosing them. I'm not a Dan Campbell, and I know he's a good coach, and I know he has a lot of respect throughout the league. I'm just
Well,
not a fan.
Well, Vegas likes them, and they're
Yes.
favored to win their division as the 4th place team last year. I'm not saying we're talking about threat. You know, it does seem that in some big games, he's come up short. But
10.5. They got him at 10.5.
I
too.
would, Chicago's 9.5.
Yeah.
Detroit's 10.5. Vegas thinks they're going to win their division, and they have a 4th place schedule. And I'd keep our eye on them.
And they don't have a 4th place roster.
No,
That's
they
the
do
thing.
not.
With their,
Well,
with their offense.
And the Niners parlayed that last year, a 4th place schedule, and it's just like those extra games. It's only 3 of them, but those 3 matter. Like they matter, and they get the Giants as an extra game. You know,
See,
they get the Titans as an extra game. Like
our extra game, we got Pittsburgh, which this year is a really good fucking extra game to get.
Yeah,
you know, in years past, that wouldn't have been one you wanted.
Yeah, Detroit's extra game is the Titans in Detroit.
Right.
So
yeah, it's true. That's a good point.
I think that division just beats up each other.
They do.
They're going to.
They do.
That division, they just beat up each other all day long. And
yeah, it always comes down to like week 16, 17, 18 for that division.
They're all similar.
And a kick.
What does the West look like?
Do you guys? Well, do you think Seattle will win that division again, or do you think the Rams will get them? Because I thought the Rams are a better team.
Yeah,
I think the Rams are a better team.
I think the Rams have a little bit of chip on your shoulder. And you're saying, or asked the question about our biggest, I guess, threat in the conference. I still think the Rams are probably the team to beat. I don't know. I think they have a chip on their shoulder, and I don't know. They might have hurt themselves with that first round pick. I understand why they did it, but I don't know. I
agree with you 100%. That's a wasted pick. You could have got someone who could contribute. First, I don't even know if that guy's any good. You made a trade, and you are a team that was in the Final Four. You got a top 12 pick. When the Eagles had that chance, they took Jalen Carter, and he made an immediate impact.
Yep.
I don't know what the Rams are doing. I mean, I think as long as you have McVay and Stafford, you're in the mix. And there's always a Super Bowl hangover. Every week, Seattle, when they play someone, it's the biggest game for that team. It's really hard to repeat. So I would guess that the Rams would win that division, but something tells me they'll be coming to see us in the playoffs in January.
It has a lot to do with what you said about Stafford. If that back can hold up, I mean, he's another year older.
Yeah,
and
he's 41.
This is his last year.
Yeah.
Under contract with guaranteed money, if you will. So it's one of those things where it's like you could cut ties. And I know that McVay and the GM and all like told Stafford like, hey, we're going to draft I forget the dude's name, but the second quarterback taken. I agree. I feel like, in all honesty, now I hope it doesn't turn out this way. I felt like it was an awful lot like the Jalen Hurts pick in the fact where it was like you kind of like at the time wasted like a second round pick where you had just signed your quarterback long term. Again, everything worked out fine, but I just felt like that, like that year you could have gotten like something better for like Carson or something. Now, obviously, 2020 he fell off a damn cliff, and such, and it clearly worked out. But yeah, what do you got, Al? You're waving at me. What do you got?
I'm just saying we got a great deal for Carson. So we
yeah.
we got a great deal. I would not compare them to the Rams situation.
No.
I mean, the Rams are going to extend his contract because they want him to mentor this kid.
Yeah.
So they're gonna extend his contract and give him some guaranteed money. They want him to stick around.
Oh wow!
So they're gonna wind up extending his contract. I'm sure.
Who do you guys think the Eagles' biggest threat in the division is? Dallas, Giants, or Washington?
I think it's Dallas, hands down. I think it's Dallas, hands down, and I think it's just because it's Dallas. I don't think the Giants are good. I don't think they're terrible.
You don't think the Giants improved themselves?
I don't think they're terrible, but
I
don't think they're good. I don't think Washington is good. I don't think
better coach. They improved. The Giants improved.
Yes, the Giants did improve. I
Giants
think they're
improved.
going to be. I think they're going to be
Washington, not
much
so
better on
much.
defense. They're going to be much better on defense.
Yep.
They're going to be better coached. Offensively, I think Jackson Dart is.
If these guys are healthy all year, we already got Neighbors had his second surgery on his knee. Dart's hurt. You got Scott. I mean, they got some really, really nice young players.
Jackson Dart is
If
a
they're
fucking
not-
big fucking meathead.
Yeah.
But
Jackson Dart's not going to last this season. I think Harbaugh's
No,
a
he's-
phenomenal coach,
No.
but
No,
I don't
Jackson
think
Dart,
I don't think
he's
he's
not
got
smart.
the GM structure that he had in Baltimore.
he's safe.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
and so they're like they drafted that guy 5, but they got 6. Like they don't need another defensive lineman. The
they've
Giants-
been doing that for years anyway. They've been
The
trying to
Giants-
win the division with a defensive line.
Yeah,
And then they get guys who, they have one guy who gets 10.5 sacks. They
Yeah.
have either some outside linebacker guy, some fucking edge rusher who gets like 8.5. And they think that they're like, that's going to win them a division.
yeah,
And
yeah. I think the Giants will be better, but I don't think they're a threat. I agree
the
with you.
Giants crack me up.
I might be contrarian here, but I actually think Dak Prescott's pretty good. I've always thought that the Dallas Cowboys didn't have a good enough offensive line, defensive
coach.
line, and they
Their head-
never
their-
managed the
they've had
salary
both-
cap that well.
They've had
Yeah.
buffoons for head coaches too, man. Like, let's be
Yeah.
honest. They've
Yeah.
had a couple fucking idiots. Like
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy is not a good coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
He's a-
agree, and I
he's a
but I just
dope.
think that Prescott can win games, especially in the regular season, not the playoffs.
Puts up
But
numbers. He can win
But he's
games.
dangerous. He's
Yes.
dangerous, right?
Because he
I
can
would-
have a 400-yard fucking
Yeah.
4-touchdown game. He
Yeah.
can run.
He's got 2 great wide receivers, so they can cause trouble.
Yeah. I
They're
would
not
say
going to win a
Dallas
Super
is-
Bowl. They're not
Yeah.
going to win a Super Bowl as long as Jerry Jones is alive, but they
Nope.
can cause trouble.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
compete.
Yeah,
They can
fuck
compete
Joe
in the
Buck
division.
and what he said.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
He picked
That
them
fucking
to
idiot?
the Super Bowl. Fuck Joe
They're not
Buck.
making the Super Bowl.
No, yeah, he picked
They're
Dallas
not making the
and,
Super Bowl.
Dallas and Buffalo.
Wasn't Buffalo
Yeah, but you know
Dallas.
what?
Get the fuck out
Didn't
of here.
fucking isn't that what what's his face used to do? Berman. He used to pick San Fran and Buffalo every year. Like, I think Joe Buck just does it to be an
I would say I think Dallas is like the biggest threat. Again with Dak, I mean, if the offense has the ball at the end of the game, Dak knows he's only got to get, depending on where they are, like 15 yards, and Aubrey
Oh,
will
Jesus,
nail a
yeah,
field
Brandon
goal.
Aubrey. That
So
thing
it's
kicks
like you
70
have
yards
to-
like it's nothing.
Exactly. So you have that. I again, I agree. I do think Dak's good. Their running game this past year wasn't that good. Obviously, their defense and their defensive coach, obviously that was changed. But with the defensive players that they drafted, again, we're all rookies. We don't know exactly how everyone's going to pan out. Not everyone pans out, but I think Dallas did set themselves up well. I think they will be our biggest threat in the division. That being said, I do still think that the Eagles will win the division. And I don't know with Dallas. I mean, maybe 9-8, maybe scooch in. They have a way of losing games, and it's just a delight. I just love it so much. They just find a way to make me happy. And it's like, all right, well, the Eagles lost. Well, how'd Dallas do? Well, they lost too. All right, well, all right, today could be worse. Like that's really like how it is. So I think Dallas is still going to be good. I agree with Mike that Detroit I see as a player. Actually, well, yeah, Detroit and the Rams, like what Sig said. Both of them. I mean, I feel like those are your big boys. And your division would be Dallas, yeah, in my opinion.
So just so we have a show of hands, none of us here feel Seattle's going to be.
No, I think that's
I think Seattle's one and done.
We've all
They're done.
recognized that they're a flash in the
We
pan.
don't need to talk about them anymore. Just
Fuck Seattle.
Didn't the Super Bowl MVP leave?
yes.
Yeah, but you know what? No, I think Seattle will be back in the playoffs. Like signing.
They'll be in the playoffs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I think the way to think about it, and before there were 7 teams in the playoffs, when it was 6, as a rule, you could almost always count on. From a betting perspective, half the teams will always be new. Now,
Yep.
the trend has now been, if there's
think
7
two.
teams in the playoffs, 4 are returning, 3 are new.
3 are new.
And I
That's what it was, yeah.
jotted down, you know, I got the Rams in Seattle coming back. I think the Lions and the Packers would be back a second time. I got the
That's 3.
Eagles back again, and I
That
got the
would be 4.
Cowboys, and I got Atlanta winning their division, and that's your 4 and 3. The Eagles, the Packers, the Rams, and Seattle, in my betting
Those are the
analysis, are
4,
the
yeah.
returning teams. I think the Cowboys will slip in because the Giants and Washington's weak. They'll sweep them, and I think Atlanta's
Cowboys,
the best.
Falcons.
I got Atlanta as the best of the bad in the South, but I wouldn't be shocked if New Orleans got them. I think.
Oh, and the Lions.
That's just
That was
it.
the other one,
The
okay.
South
Yeah.
is always going to be a crapshoot, and for some reason, Tampa's always competed.
Yeah, what I'd
They're
say is I
always
don't
in the mix.
see Carolina. It'll be somebody new.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then
And so
Dallas
that's my
may
take,
be
yeah.
back to the point where they're making it in. But you always have and it's never the East and it's never the South, but there's always a division that has 3 teams that are making a serious push. And it's either the North with those 3 teams. Actually, I mean, there were 4 teams. You know, the Bears were bad up until last year.
Yeah.
And they had a couple, but there's always 3 teams competing.
Yeah.
And then in the West, you know, for the most part, take out Arizona and those other 3 compete. Now, if we all agree that San Fran is kind of, you know, they may or may not return. I don't know.
But what I
They're
can
not
tell
gonna
you
be-
is,
I don't think they're going to be crappy. Mike was saying you think they're going to be bad, especially by the time we
who is
play them.
it?
But I still
San
San
Fran.
Fran. But I think
do.
San
I
Fran
do.
still. I think San Fran will still be. I think they'll be decent. I haven't looked at their schedule, but I just still feel San Fran will be decent. Seattle, you know, they're not going to go 6-0 against the division. There's teams are too damn good. Like the NFC West is just good. Like somebody's got to beat up on someone.
I think
They're
Yeah,
always
right.
hurt.
I
They
mean,
always
think
get
Seattle's
hurt,
good.
and
Yeah.
they're losing another wide receiver. You know, it all depends. It all depends on the running back and the quarterback. You know, CMC and Purdy. You know, and Kittle. He's another one.
I hate
He
Purdy.
could be the
I just
greatest
can't
freaking
stand
tight
Brock
end in the
Purdy.
league if he you know. But
Kittle's washed up. He's washed up.
just-
He's done.
they're always hurt. They're always
Talk about
Yeah.
a meathead.
yeah,
Luke
here's my
Kittle's a
take.
fucking meathead.
It's Steve. Here's my take on San Fran. They didn't have a great draft.
Nope,
They got a
yeah.
wide receiver. They got a wide receiver who basically didn't show up last year, Brandon Ayuk. Purdy is good, not great. He's little and he can get hurt.
Yep.
And they're old and they overachieved last year. What they do is they have a really good coach and they got a below average GM. And he makes them look better than their talent. And they're in a division with the Rams and the Seahawks. If the Niners were in the NFC South, it's a little bit of a different story, but they're not. And I would heavily bet San Fran's under.
We should have
That
beat
would
them
be
in the
my
play.
advice.
We should have beat them in the playoffs. That's
Yeah, they
period.
stunk. They stunk.
We
It
should
was.
have beat them.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, is
Rob, what
fuck,
was-
fuck
Eagles
Jake
lost the game.
Elliott.
Yeah.
Jake Elliott missed an extra point. Fuck
The Eagles
him.
lost the game.
Well, they resigned
It would've
his
been a totally
ass,
different
so
game.
we're gonna have
Fuck
to deal
him.
with that again this year with no. Oh wait, didn't they bring
And
in
his
Akers'
son.
kid? They
Yeah.
brought in Akers' kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Rob,
Oh, it's Akers' son, right?
yeah, Akers' son. Rob, what was San Fran's over under with wins?
I
if you have it
have
up.
to check again, but I'm pretty sure it
I'm
was 10
sorry.
and a half.
It was 10.5.
I think so.
I mean, even as I was saying, I would maybe go 10-7 for them. That would
For
be
the
under.
Niners?
Yeah,
Niners? Steve,
Yeah.
let's talk offline. We can make some bets.
yeah. No, I said I'm going under that.
Oh no,
You think
they're
it's-
going to win. They're going to go 7-11 or
Yeah,
7-10.
but Rob-
They're going 7
Rob
and
said-
10.
Rob
10.5.
Vegas has them at 10.5.
FanDuel.
Heavily bet the under. Heavily. That's my advice. So you got to
That's what I was thinking. I
understand.
don't think
Seattle-
they
You
will.
got to understand is that the public is slow. Everybody looks at last year, and if you look at it, always
I'm
go.
not
There's
though.
seven playoff teams, and either 3 or 4 are going to be new, and either 3 or 4 are going to come back. And what did they do in the offseason? Like I look at the Eagles and I say they improved, right? but I don't think that San Fran did.
Okay, that's good. I'm here for it. What oh bloody hell, what was I going to ask you?
See, I mean, I think
somebody
Seattle's
else
going to be
go.
Seattle's going to be really good. I think they're going to be good as far as their defense is going to take them. Don't depend on Sam Darnold to take them anywhere, but their defense is going to carry them.
Darnold's one of those guys where,
And plus, you got one of the best receivers.
based on
over there, so.
what he did last year, like he's going to win games that he shouldn't win. He's going to make bad mistakes in games when he needs to not make bad mistakes. But ultimately, like right now, he's a winner until he proves otherwise. And that's kind of like the thing with Brock Purdy, is that he was always this close, so he never quite got over that hump. So that's why I'm not a believer in Brock Purdy, but I would bet on Darnold before I bet on Purdy.
Okay.
What
did you say, Rob? What did you say Dallas was? They were 9.5.
9.5. Yeah, they have the Eagles at 10.5, Dallas at 9.5, Washington at 7.5, and the Giants at 7.5. Holy shit! Wait, Washington is 7.5. They have the Giants at 7.5. I would hammer
They
the
have a
under with
coin
that
flip
too.
between those two. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Giants had 4 wins last year.
Right.
Yeah,
And I
one of
don't
them
think
against
they got
us.
4
It's
wins better.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
I
the
don't-
Giants are 7-10, they'd probably, or 7-11. Wait, yeah,
7-10.
7-10.
7-10.
They'd probably consider that a success. So the
Oh,
under looks
they'd
good.
be having a parade for John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
They probably would, in all honesty. Yeah,
They'd be like,
I
we're
saw-
winning it next year. It was a
It's
great
funny.
hire.
Rob, it's funny you say that. I saw like a meme since like the new Meadowlands opened in like 2010 with like the 2 teams and with like their actual records and stuff. Like it is so far under 500
I was
with
going
the
to say,
Jets and the Giants.
I was going to say, I don't know
Like,
when it
other
opened.
Other teams have higher winning percentages than
Now,
the Jets and the Giants.
here's
At their home.
here's a good question. What home quarterback has the best record at the new Meadowlands? And would that be like now I don't know how old that stadium is, but would it be someone like Mark Sanchez? Like would you have to go back that far to figure out who is the winningest quarterback at that stadium?
That's
When
a
did
good
that
stadium.
When did that stadium open?
It's
I want to say
MetLife.
10. I'm pretty sure 10.
Yeah.
Was it
Hang
that
on, we have
recent?
the internet.
The new one. The
We do have the internet.
The new one is it's MetLife.
Yeah, MetLife. I think it was 2010.
Oh,
I could be
okay.
wrong.
Hold on, MetLife Stadium.
could be
We do have the
Flacco.
internet.
Who has the fastest internet? April 10th, 2010.
2010. So
So
you
you're
got
talking so 15 years.
Yes, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
gotta
That's why
be-
it's hilarious.
It's got to be Manning, right? It's got to be Eli Manning, right?
Yeah, because
But
I
then
don't
he
think
had
it
them
goes
up.
back as far. And Manning, when was he drafted? Was it 2010 or
But the
20?
thing about no, it's
2000
before
He was
that.
drafted
No, it
in
was before
04.
that.
04.
Yeah, that was
04.
before that.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing with Manning is he still ended up being just like a 500 quarterback when he retired. Like their last few years, he was bad. If you look at Eli Manning's stats, like his only playoff wins are the years they went to the Super Bowl. Like he made the playoffs, but he has no other. Like he either if you won a playoff game, they won the Super Bowl, or
His
if
numbers
you didn't
were
win a playoff.
like, completely ridiculous, though.
It's so weird and lopsided, and that's why I think when it goes like to the Hall of Fame conversation with him, it's like, yeah, you got 2, Super Bowl MVPs, but you have more interceptions and touchdowns, and you have a 500 record. Like it's a very questionable question, if you will, and of course, it doesn't help being an Eagles fan.
It's not a Hall of Fame resume.
I agree with you, Al.
So any thoughts about the AFC? Who do we like over there? I'd go the Ravens. Maybe the Chiefs.
Yeah,
yeah,
did
I
the
can't
Chiefs
see
make
the
a comeback? They seem to reload it a little bit. It kind of went under the radar with that also. Everybody kind of forgot about them after last year, but they might have retooled.
Yeah, and on that note, Sig, Andy's never bad 2 years in a row.
No.
Like, I mean, with us, like you had 2011 where he was 8-8, and then they brought him back, and then that was, that was it for him. I think like that was his like first like back-to-back not having a winning season or a playoff appearance or something like that. Like I can't see the Chiefs not being in the playoffs. And again, it goes back to what Mike was saying, where you have 4 teams that make it, 3 that don't, or vice versa. Something. It's like worst case scenario, it's going to at least be 2 new teams in each conference. I like it. Just
it's always been at least 3. Like it's
always
like
been 3.
ready as rain, always.
Yeah,
but if you look at the schedule though, they're giving the Chiefs some good games early, which means Mahomes going to be ready. He's playing week 1. They wouldn't have them playing Monday night week 1 if he wasn't going to be ready. Like whoever does it,
that's true.
He's playing.
They know something.
He's playing. He's playing week 1.
Yeah. All right. I'd argue, the only thing I'd argue on that is, I guess ours was different. I was going to say, we didn't have Carson the first couple weeks of 2018, but we were the Super Bowl champs. So we opened up on like Thursday night or something like that. So like that's not the same thing.
Yeah, I looked it up. The Wentz and the Mahomes injuries were about 4 days apart.
Really?
But look, if they didn't think Mahomes was going to play, you would have saw Kansas City playing like Arizona and the Raiders the first 2 weeks. They got the Broncos at home in week 1, and I think week 2 they're playing somebody good on Monday night. He's going to play. I mean, bet it now. Mahomes is playing week 1. He's going to be ready. They would not schedule them to play Monday night if they didn't think he was going to play.
That's true, and they're not flexing out of that. They can't flex,
And if he's playing, him and Andy, I mean, yeah, the teams retool all the time. But if you got Andy Reid and Mahomes, and they're in the mix always.
All right, Eli Manning.
Andy's the greatest coach the Eagles have ever had, and I'll stand by that, even though he never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
He's the man.
I agree with you.
He's got the most wins.
No.
And
he just didn't have the right quarterback. You get Mahomes and everything changes, right? Like it's the same thing with Belichick. Like you can't. McNabb was good, but he wasn't great.
Belichick was a bad coach before he had Tom Brady. Like he was not a good coach. Like with Cleveland, and then with the Jets, and he fucking quit on them or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. Chemistry matters.
Yeah,
and Mahomes and Reid have it. That's all there is to it.
Since we're talking about the AFC. Now, this is my opinion. Do you think New England even makes the playoffs this year?
No,
Absolutely.
I was saying earlier.
No.
I say no.
I think they win 8 games.
Fade them.
Yeah, if they're lucky, they'll win 8 games.
Even with AJ?
Yeah.
Even with fucking Diana Rossini taking care of Mike Vrabel on the sidelines, they're still not going to win 9 games.
That distraction on top of the fact that they had the easiest schedule last year, I would have been fading them without this controversy. With this controversy, it's a slam dunk. The only thing that saves the Patriots, again, Jets and Dolphins. That's it.
I have to be honest. I love that story because I can't stand the Patriots. It wasn't just Brady and Belichick. It's just the franchise because of their fans. Like, I just can't stand Boston teams, period.
They don't need any more W's. They have enough crap.
And I just can't stand them because for years before they won, I had friends in college that were all from up there. And it was always, next year. And I just got so sick of hearing it. And then they started winning, and then they became even more unbearable. And the fact that more and more keeps coming out about this relationship with Rossini and Vrabel. Now, I don't know this guy just likes money, but her current husband, the father of her 2 kids, he was just seen recently, like with her, like Mother's Day, like holding the kids and kissing her and playing all lovey-dovey. I don't understand how he's doing that, first of all. And naming the kid Mike, like there's so much shit to this. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a ton of fucking smoke, man.
Do you think there's any way that there could be I feel like if there was a disciplinary thing, it would just have to come from the Patriots rather than.
I think they swept it under the rug, though.
Yeah, rather than the league, because I mean, what the
You think
guy
Robert
did
Kraft
was
gives a
wrong,
shit?
but like, yeah, well,
Robert
no,
Kraft
I'm
is
just,
proud of his dude, man. Robert
yeah,
Kraft is like, well done, Vrabel, fist bumping
I
and
know.
everything.
Well,
Yeah, but
that's
the
true.
NFL
Kraft and
is like
his young.
the NFL is leaning into it. Like I thought, you know what? They'll have them on like the 1 o'clock Sunday, the opening week.
Yeah,
They're
you
putting
said.
them in the first game. There's no way you're going to be able to avoid it. So they're basically saying the NFL is like, fuck it,
They're
we're
like,
putting
let's
them
talk
on.
about it, right? But
Yeah,
nobody's going to talk about it. That's the problem. I mean, radio stations and knuckleheads like us will talk about it, and social media will. But when it comes time for the game, and when it comes time for the pregame, and when it comes time for the postgame and the halftime, no, they're not going to talk about it. The NFL is going to act like nothing happened.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. The Patriots, they're going to go like 6-11. That's
Yeah,
what
I was
I'm
going to say
saying.
7 would be
I'm going to
max.
bet them heavily on the under, and I don't think AJ Brown's going to help. I don't think Drake May's that good.
I don't either.
I think they lucked out because Denver they played the Texans in the playoffs, and the Texans, their quarterback just, I don't know what happened to him, and then
He's just a
Denver
head
didn't have their
case.
starter. They
And
wouldn't have beat Denver.
What was it,
if-
Jared
if-
Stidham?
Yeah,
Yep.
they wouldn't have beat Denver. I mean, Denver
Nah.
gave Buffalo all they could handle, and Buffalo still almost won that game.
They did,
No,
yeah.
the Patriots lucked into that Super Bowl. They were terrible in the Super Bowl. They're not a good team.
So talking
Under.
about the AFC, if
Buffalo. About Buffalo.
Buffalo,
Let's
the
go
Ravens,
Buffalo.
Chiefs.
Well,
Buffalo
what about
Ravens,
Denver?
Chiefs.
What about Denver?
No.
You think they'll be back? Sean Payton's a good coach,
I think they'll be back in the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna get to the Super Bowl. No,
but you don't think they'll compete AFC Championship potential?
no, no.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I always look at the quarterbacks to the best of the ability, and you got Josh Allen, and you got Mahomes, and you got Lamar Jackson, and then the Joe Burrow's lurking too. And no, I don't think that Denver's quarterback. He's good, but he's not great.
Now they got to put a lot of pieces around him to get him a little bit better, and they haven't done that yet.
Being that we're talking about the schedule, what is everyone's opinions about legitimately, not every week, obviously, but legitimately playing on every day of the week except Tuesday, with having these Wednesday and Friday games and stuff? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you think it's oversaturation? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think the NFL is just trying to grab
I'll
whatever
tell you,
day
it
from
doesn't matter
anyone?
what we think. It doesn't matter what we think because the
I know,
NFL
but
is
I
going
want your
to.
opinion.
But what I'm
Tell
saying
me.
is that, yeah, the NFL is going to make money no matter what. That's all they care about. They will play on fucking Tuesday morning at 9:00 if they think it'll sell, and it will. That's the thing.
I read somewhere what their ultimate plan is to have a football game on every day.
I agree. That's where it's at. Steve, it all started with COVID. You remember those
Mhm.
games? Like you got
I
a Monday,
enjoyed the
5 o'clock.
Tuesday, 3
Yo,
p.m.
there was
games.
like a
I love
Steelers
those.
Ravens game at Wednesday at like 3 o'clock.
I was like, hell
Steve,
yeah.
though, I'll tell you, I'm an old man. Like I'm all for the Thanksgiving Eve game. What else am I doing? Like I don't, like, all the other leagues play every night. Like I don't understand why we give them that much static other than the games going to like YouTube or Netflix. I just would prefer them to be on for free for everyone.
Yeah,
But
that's not
when-
going to happen. though. Those days are gone too, Mike. You know
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
Christmas Eve is
I agree.
Christmas Eve is on Amazon Prime.
Right, but
Yeah.
but Steve, I'm all for. First off, as a fan, I standalone games are good. On Sundays when there's 7 games at once, I don't like it. Like I prefer, like, I like the 4 o'clock window when there's only 3 games and I can kind of manage, right? And then also as a bar owner, the more standalone games, the better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's just I think it's cool they're doing a Thanksgiving Eve game. Like, what else is, like, if you're not, 25, you're going out and partying, but for us guys, like, yeah, let's watch a game at 8 o'clock on Saturday, the night before Thanksgiving. Why not?
So obviously you're a big gambler. So what would be your big, if they played every day, what would be your big comeback day?
Well, let me stop it. I'm not as big
Not
as
a big,
gambler as you
you
think.
like
No, there
gambling.
is no. So I only bet at the beginning of the season. I like over and under wins, and playoffs or not. That's
Okay,
it.
that's
So
it.
I don't actually bet every game. because to me it's more I make a bet and then I watch it the whole season.
Like
So
your
I
predictions.
You're into the numbers. So you're
Yeah.
into the numbers.
Yeah, so I'm not let me make a comeback or anything like that. No, I'm over unders and playoffs and division winners. That's it. So you make the bets at the beginning of the year and then you just watch, because otherwise you're just chasing, and that makes the games less fun. See, if your team loses, you're like, all right, well next week it's more. I'm not that type of gambler, if that makes sense.
I always do this stuff at the beginning of the year too, and it's fun. And then I look
Yeah.
back, last year I put Sandy Alcantara to win the Cy Young, and then in August I laughed at myself. Like
I made a big bet on Jesus Luzardo to win the Cy Young. I don't think that's gonna win. I don't
Nice.
think I'm winning.
Nice.
Hey, Steve, you hit on the Flyers though, even though you were
I
saying they
did.
were not going to make the playoffs. But
2
you won
years
on the
ago,
bet.
I won like 30. I won like $30 on the Eagles winning the Super Bowl like 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
yeah,
And it was just like, I don't even know what week it was. I wasn't at the end, at the beginning of the year. It was like week 7 to 9, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it, these are good odds. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I think I put $5 down and I won $35. I got $35 back, and I just thought like I am the man. I am I am counting cards. I am Rain Man. Take me to Vegas right now.
I had that with the Eagles in 2022.
Meanwhile, I can't
when they went to
pick
the
one.
Super Bowl.
Like, if they had to pick one
Yeah.
for the Pennsylvania lottery, I couldn't do that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I would never hit.
But yeah, I did that, and I won I put $5 down on something. I won like $82 or something. It was awesome.
That's a
When the
big win.
Eagles went to the Super Bowl, I was like, hooray!
Right.
That was in
Yeah.
2022, and now my account's a little low, so I got some work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear Al say things like, "What's your comeback day?" And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, Al, I don't have a comeback day like that. That's not how I go. But
Well,
Monday at
others
work.
for
Yeah.
the average
Right.
Al, the people that bet on Sundays, it's usually Monday.
Right. It would be like comeback day.
Yeah.
Rob would be like Monday Night Football. You lost.
Like
on-
lost all your money
You
on
lost-
Sunday. You gotta hammer something on Monday.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Al, tell me
Alright.
about your
Alright.
comeback day. I'm asking
can
for
figure
a
it
friend.
I am not. I'm not a big gambler. I like to play cards though sometimes. So.
There you go.
Not me. I'll grab a lottery ticket when it's millions of dollars.
When it's the worst fucking possible odds,
Correct.
like everybody else.
Like
Correct.
If
sign
it's
me up.
over $1 billion, you're going to buy that first lottery ticket where you had the worst possible odds. But when it's like 5 million, that's when you go buy it. Greedy bastard.
now Sig's talking odds here.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
that's the accountant
Teaching
in
us.
me, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Gentlemen, we're at an hour and 12 minutes. I mean, I'm sure we can keep on going. Does anybody got anything burning about the schedule? Do we want to make predictions on the Eagles for the wins, a game of the year, awards, anything like that? Let's throw some shit against the wall.
Any game you beat Dallas is the game of the fucking year.
I concur.
Anyone going
Um,
down to the hub opener?
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
say that the game on Thanksgiving, the Dallas game
Yeah,
at
I was
4:30
looking at
is
that
always
one.
that's always the highest watched regular season game of the year.
Mhm.
So that's I mean everybody's watching that at 4:30.
Yeah.
That's the
Captive
game.
audience.
That's the game. That's the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, and you
And
want to be
I
with
agree.
people like if
Yes,
make sure you don't let a Dallas fan in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Make sure your cousin doesn't bring her new boyfriend who happens to be a Cowboys fan, because you can't have that shit.
You can
Yeah.
watch outside.
So what do you got
Uh-uh.
for a record here, guys? I know Al says they're going like 15-2.
That's why we love Al.
But let's
I'll say
let's do
14.
let's just do W's and L's. All right. Week 1, Washington.
Win.
Win.
I'll go win. Win.
Yeah, I think we all got that. Tennessee, week 2.
I'll go win.
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 Win. Week 3, Chicago at Chicago.
That might be a
That
loss.
That might be an L. That's an L.
I'll go win.
I'm
I'll go
going
loss.
win just to
Loss.
kind of buck the trend as well. Week 4, LA at home.
Win.
I think you're going to lose that one. I'll go L.
I think they crush them.
Yeah. 3
So
and
I
1
got-
after 4 weeks sounds reasonable.
That's what I'm saying. I'll take
If you
3
got-
and 1.
Yeah, if
I
you
would
They're not going
break
to
it
get
up
both.
into
They're not going to
two.
win both of them, but they'll get one of those two.
out of Bears and
It's
Rams.
Chicago and
Yeah.
Rams. You're going to get one. If you get
Yeah,
one,
they-
if you're 1 and 1, and you get the other two, week 1 and week 2, 3 and
It-
1, I think
Yeah.
everyone's happy
It
with
might be
that.
the Rams coming off a short week
Yeah.
because we're in Chicago Monday night. All right, week 5, London, Jacksonville.
I say win.
I think we all got to win there. And then we come home and we play Carolina.
That's not an
the
easy
following week.
game, just so you know.
Bye.
Not easy, but
No.
and
The travel-
Jacksonville's
I-
not a bad team. Jacksonville
No,
was
and they're
good
not.
last
And
year.
I remember the last time, that last game. I mean, Eagles were the Super Bowl winners, and Jacksonville was not that good. It was a lot. The turf was
Yep.
terrible.
That might have been the
it's in
second
a-
week that Jacksonville was there.
different
We'd have to
stadium.
look back into it, but
It's in a different stadium now, but I don't know what that's like. But that was a lot closer than
That
I wanted
Jacksonville
it to
team
be.
wasn't bad. They made it to
No,
the
they weren't.
AFC Championship game against the Patriots that
they
year.
did.
That's
They
right.
played they played the Patriots. We played the Vikings, and we won against the Patriots. That Jacksonville team was not bad, and we won with Wentz. So
Yeah.
the Eagles are going to win that game.
And Sig,
Yeah,
I
but
think
that
you're
was-
forgetting the fact that was Golden Tate's first game. That was a big
right. The
right.
legendary Golden Tate.
That's right.
All right, week
That's
6,
right.
we come back. We got Carolina at home after London.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Yeah, I think that's a win. And then Dallas at home the following week. It's on a Monday night.
Better be a fucking win. I'll be at that.
That's a
game.
win. That's a win.
I'm
All
sorry.
right. All right. Yeah, I might go lost there.
I'm going to go
Bills
lost.
won.
They're going to
All right,
split
good.
Dallas.
Yay!
You know,
they're
so
they're
it's-
going to split Dallas, and they
Yeah.
might lose here and win there. That's what they did last year, I think. Right? It's
Yeah.
Al, you got them winning or losing there?
Dallas.
Yeah.
Here,
Here,
week 7.
home win.
All right. Then week 8, we go to Washington. It's a Sunday night game.
I'm going W.
I think
I'm
we
gonna take
split
the-
with
I'm
Washington.
I'm gonna take the L there because there's going to be an L you don't
Ouch.
expect, and
True.
that's going to be the one.
All right. And then the
could
following
be.
week, we got the Giants at home.
Win.
We
That's
sweep,
a
I'll
win.
go W.
we sweep the Giants.
All
Yeah.
right. And then we got the bye week 10, which is probably good. And then week 11 at home against the Steelers. I think that's a W.
That's
I
a
think the
win.
Steelers
That's
they
a W
might
for
have
me.
2 wins at that point. Coming into that game, Pittsburgh may be lucky with 2 wins. And then we got the Thanksgiving game.
I'm going W on that because I had a loss in Philadelphia.
That's
and
kind
they
of where
always
I'm
seem
at.
to split.
Yeah,
They always
I'm
seem
thinking
to split.
they're going to split Washington and Dallas.
That makes
Whichever
sense.
one, they're going to get a loss there, and they're going to split the Rams and the Bears.
Yeah. And then what
So
about
there's-
Arizona? In Arizona,
That's
W.
a win.
That's a win.
balmy December 13th, 425 game.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
indoors in Arizona. Yeah,
To win.
Against who's their quarterback? this
Jacoby
year?
Brissett.
Yeah,
If he's still their quarterback in week fucking 14, at that point, there's got to be no way he'll still be their.
Hey, he
quarterback,
got me
right?
into the playoffs last year. Fuck
he's
that.
not bad.
He's
But
a
he's
good
not
solid.
good.
quarterback.
That's the thing. He's just
he's a
guy.
professional quarterback.
Right. He's
Yes,
a guy.
there you go. That's
Yeah.
it. Professional
He's a
quarterback.
guy. He's
Yeah.
been around a while.
Yeah.
You know, week 15, Seattle has to come here. I think that's a win, just because
Yeah,
Seattle
I
has to
think
travel.
Did you skip the Colts?
No, I said no. Did I say the Colts?
No.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
how about the
Arizona
Colts on
did the
week
Colts.
13?
I have a win with the Colts.
Yeah, their season will be over by then.
Yeah,
I agree.
agreed.
Win.
Jones will be hurt.
Oh yeah.
If he's not, that could be an L. That he has a tendency to run for 80 yards plus on us. Like it's a disgrace how
Yeah.
badly we defend that guy. Historically, Seattle week 15 here. I think it's
I'm
a win
going
because they have to
loss.
travel.
I'm going
Um,
loss because I need to get some losses in the loss column. Just to make my
That's going to be a
record.
tough game, no doubt. It's going to
Yeah.
be one of the toughest game of the season.
I think they're going to win that one. But we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, I
have to
still
look
think
at-
they're going to go 12-5. Like there's a loss there. Like maybe the week 18 they don't need to win. I don't
Yeah.
know.
right, and there's
12-5
going to be a
sounds
bad
right.
loss during the season, a game that they shouldn't lose, but they
Yeah.
will. So that could be an Indy, that could be fucking Tennessee, or
Yeah.
it could be one of those games. Houston, Christmas Eve, I think we all agree.
I'm
That's a
going
big
win.
W. That's a big W.
That's
Yeah.
a W right there.
And then we go to San Fran on January 3rd.
I'm going to say a loss on that.
I'm going to go win. Because I
They-
think they're
they
going to
could-
lose to the Giants because that game won't matter.
There you go.
I mean, that San Fran game, the game might not matter.
Fair point.
I think they'll need it though to probably clinch the division. The San Fran game.
Possible.
I honestly,
And if
just
they don't get that, then they win the Giants next
I don't
week.
think anybody's going to be near them in the division by that point. Honestly,
They'll probably be a couple games up on Dallas by then.
I think so.
But Dallas will be fighting for a wild card.
Wild
Playoff
card.
spot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then
the only
week
reason, I mean, if we're playing, we're playing for seeding at that point or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I have no idea how many W's and how many L's I said. But
I wrote
I-
down for
I,
mine.
I think I have them unbeaten.
I think,
No, wait,
I, think
one
I,
loss.
I think 12-5 is what it
I have
sounds
12.
like.
I was going to say 12 and 5 is
You
about
might
where I
have-
land.
You look like I think we were like 13-4, Mike.
13-4.
I
Okay.
think that's what
12
you
and
might.
5.
You might have had them at that too.
13 and 4, they're fighting for a number one seed.
Who's your
I have
losses?
them.
The split. You got split in Washington.
I think we got them split in Washington, split in
And the
Dallas,
Giants.
split in that
That's the Dallas.
Rams. Now I think we had them sweeping. Well, yeah.
The Rams, Chicago, stretch,
Rams,
and then you
Chicago,
said
1-1
potentially
with that.
like
What I would say is if that Giants game is for the number one seed, they'll win it. If it means
Right,
nothing, they'll
right.
lose it. They'll tank it.
That's what that's how I have it, because I have them as 12 and 5, and I have them losing at San Fran and at the Giants, only because I don't think the Giants game will matter.
And we also know our coach doesn't play for seeding, right?
Ain't
Oh,
that
of
the
course,
damn truth?
of course.
Boy,
Right.
you could have.
So-
Boy, you could have. Holy
Right.
geez. Go out and
Right,
get 1,000
so-
yards and get off the
Yeah.
field.
So we
Would
won't
have made all-
talk. We won't
W.
talk about that. I'm still.
would have
on
made, it, would have made a little bit of a difference, right?
I think it
Yeah.
could have. I 100% think it could
I
have.
think it absolutely could have. All right, gentlemen, we
I think
are.
we got to get out of here on that.
Just
Our-
made me very angry, Mike.
I think this is the perfect time to end it. All right. We appreciate everybody who stuck with us, watching us. We now know the Eagles schedule, and start following the page if you're not following. Drunk Eagles fans. And everybody have a good night. Go Birds.
Super Bowl.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Go
Go
Birds.
Birds. Yeah, go Birds.